For the first round and for the first presenter, we have Mr. Saikiran Shetty, National Sales and Marketing Manager, Saint-Gobain Tape Solutions, who will be sharing his deep insights on Saint-Gobain's solutions for high-performance EV batteries. May I please request Mr. Saikiran Shetty, National Sales and Marketing Manager, Saint-Gobain Tape Solutions, to please come up on the dais.
Good morning. I was taking some time because I was expecting some chairs to be filled up. I called my colleagues to join me so that I don't present to the empty hall. Yeah. Good morning to all again. So I'll take privilege in presenting what Saint-Gobain has to do in this wonderful EV value chain. I'll take a couple of minutes to explain what Saint-Gobain is, because most of us know Saint-Gobain largely from a construction segment. We are known well across the world, and in India we are highly recognized from glass as such. So a couple of minutes I will take you through with respect to what we do in EV or automotive as a space. So we are a company which is about 350-year-old organization plus. We are about 52 billion euro revenue in a year, and we have about presence in about 75 countries. In India, we have about 76 manufacturing capabilities across different parts of the country. So if you see here from our overall, revenue of about 51 billion euro, about 20% of it comes from a business vertical called High Performance Solutions, which is more driven to the innovation-driven technology. So though glass is big, we are across different segments. It could be automotive, it could be aerospace, it could be EV right now. And then in addition to that, we spend too much into innovations, and then from an R&D point of view, so that we develop new product as the market evolves. We have about 8 to 9 R&D centers across different regions. We have one in Chennai, based in IIT Madras Park. So this exhibits our commitment towards India as a region, because we see very high potential in growth across different market segments. Now dwelling towards what we do in EV, for Saint-Gobain, EV is as a value chain. We are present at different stages, very beginning from the starting of mining the minerals, processing it, manufacturing it, making a cells out of it, making a modules out of it, and then once the module is made, when it goes into the mobility, we are as well present in the charging infrastructure, supporting, enhancing the safety and the performance of each of these components. Some of the business which is predominantly seen in this particular value chains are from High Performance Solutions. Some of the brands, if you see on the left, it could be Nosil, Narbond, HKO, and the Pritex, which we will dwell more into as I take you forward. So there are many different applications what we do in this segment. However, I would touch upon what is key and what is important for us, and what is important for you as the guys who are into designing and manufacturing the batteries or the e-mobility per se. We typically concentrate on about 5 key functional areas. So protecting the battery from environmental conditions, making its IP67 sealing, and then in the event of thermal runaway, how do you mitigate the risk of thermal event, then improve the thermal management, managing the cells swelling aspect of the battery. Based on the different form factors, you would have cylindrical, prismatic, or pouch. Each of the cells behave very differently as we charge and discharge of them. So how do we contribute in helping the industry in enhancing the overall safety and as well as the longevity of this particular battery packs? We will dwell into one by one. So we have just picked a couple of applications which seems interesting or critical to touch upon. So one important aspect is manage cell swelling and improve safety. This is predominantly seen in prismatic or pouch. India is too much into cylindrical as such today, but we see as we go forward, prismatic taking a lot of presence in the 3-wheeler batteries or the 4-wheeler batteries as well as pouch. So it's important to touch base this topic of why it's so important to kind of consider how the cell is going to be expanding and what is that a designer to consider while he is designing a cell to be packed in the module. So, I mean, thermal runaway, battery cycle life, electrical shorts, assembly easiness. These are some of the points which comes into mind when we speak about, cell swelling. Using certain material between the cells, it's important not only, for the ease of packing, not only to make the pack sturdy, but it's also important to make sure the thermal safety is taken care. So now, I mean, in the last 1.5 years in India, we have seen that how the industry has moved a stage above where everyone would want to build their battery safer so that the one who uses it at the end be rest assured that, he is on the safer vehicle or safer, equipment, right? So from that standpoint, it's very important that to use the right material so that it behaves and, a designer considers that what is that he would need out of this material. I will not get into too much of this. So we spoke about cell swelling, why it is important. There have been detailed study which has been made from, certain researchers, and here are some of these graphs. It briefly tells you that if you keep these cells, typically your, pouch or prismatic under a free condition, you would see that the life of the cells go down drastically. Likewise, if you really, press it too hard, or rather you have a high compression load at a packing level, even it is adverse effect. So what is important is to kind of design it right, so that you have an optimum pressure at the beginning of life, and as well as to see that the load which is going on to cell is not too high at end of life. So from that aspect, it's very much important for a designer to understand from the cell manufacturer that, what is he buying from the cell manufacturers, and what are those specs he need to ask from them. With that specs, when we work with these designers, we can collaborate in offering a solutions which can help them to kind of take these things into consideration. So that, most of the time when we have discussed, I know this industry is starting, and it's just in the nascent stage or it's building up. Most of the time, the designers or the industry today is struggling to get this key information from the cell makers, because unfortunately we are dependent on China, and then most of the places, the information doesn't flow in a way because everyone would want to have this confidential. But I think now there is efforts been put to ask questions back to the cell makers, and we have seen the results. We've been seeing that now we get those things coming back, and it's helping us to give them right solutions. So my request is please do consider this aspect when you go for a designing of a prismatic or pouch cell in considering the battery. So this is few things about how really it works and what's our capability. So I would not get into this because I think you are all experts here. Our zone is here, based on all these variable factors and what is the kind of load conditions we would need to have at the beginning of life, at the end of life. We play with different formulation to get you a specific material. It could be soft, it could be stiff, it could be a medium soft or a medium density. It's purely which is baked in our in-house lab, right? So that gives us the CFD curves. We work closely. Each of these projects for us takes about minimum of 6 months to start. So that what it says is that we need to work closely from the very beginning. From the time we start of thinking building a pack, the designers has to consider this materials is important for them to have in the pack, and they have to start talking. It may be with Saint-Gobain or someone who is equivalent, but that it's important that we really do that activity so that we incorporate some good material or right material to have an ultimate design. So these are about the challenging scenarios, because we spoke about cell swelling. So cell swelling is a more of a physical or chemical, behavior of the cells. Now in the event of thermal runaway, how do you really take care of your, battery cells? So, beyond physical consideration, we do have solutions to kind of collaborate both of these to get you one solution. That's basically like, for example, if someone would want to have build a battery pack with the prismatic or a pouch cell, considering the thermal runaway event, so that too with the NMC, kind of a chemistry, we work closely with them to understand what is the kind of, a time lag which they would like to have. With that, our experts work closely with the designers to offer a product which can delay by 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20, 30 minutes, based on the requirement, and the testing would be done. So this is just about, how we approach into the solution and how we really work closely and collaborate to give you a solution which can be a safer and, optimum. If you see here, we have a simulation which has been done of one aspect with no insulation in between the cells, and one with a certain material which can delay by 13 minutes, and in one combination which is last, where you see no propagation at all. So this is something which we can do only if we can really understand and work closely with the manufacturer, the designers, combining our offerings across different business vertical. Saint-Gobain is a large business house, comes with a very different scope of materials. We really understand well of what we do. We can work closely, we can collaborate nicely, and bring in all our know-how to solve the problems what we have on the table. So this is typically a summary of what I just spoke about. There is a scenario of normal use, which takes care of a physical deformation, physical cell swelling, and then there is also a case of thermal runaway. How do we really need to address that in addition to the physical behavior? And that's where I think our understanding of need of multifunctional capabilities. Most of the times you have a solution for physical deformation, and then you need to add something more to thermal, right? So then it is addition of material, addition of weight. So that's where we come into play. We combine our different competencies together to give you one product which can meet different aspects, which ultimately can save weight, cost, and then aspect, as well as the compact design. Yeah, there are a couple of different businesses what we are presenting here. We have HKO Solutions, which meets into it. We have North Seal brands. There is as I spoke, we invest too much onto R&D. Because there are, this is a new evolving technology. As we speak, there are different materials which we have been developing, which is a combination of silicon and ceramics put together, which can meet your requirements. So next important topic is, how do you make sure your packs are IP67? Because India as a demographic, if you see, you can see your vehicles all across. And thanks to our infrastructure today, you can get clogged any time around, right? I think this is not something which is new. We see ICE engines have been clogged in different roads. So if it happens same with our e-mobility, it's something which we have to take care of the design aspect. So we work closely with, again, designers to offer different material competencies. We have something, we are known for manufacturing silicon for ages. Maybe at least 5 to 6 decades. This material goes into different form of applications. So we nicely have put together this understanding and came out with the solutions which goes into. Today we work closely with most of the Indian four-wheeler OEMs in India, solving problems of water leaking into the battery. And we can, our team will be able to help you on this ground. One other aspect is thermal management. Thermal management has two phases. One is thermal mitigation in terms of fire, and one is managing the heat within the battery or within the module. Every charge and discharge, and that too with an e-mobility with acceleration and deceleration, you see really the heat going up, and how do you really manage it? So how do you dissipate this heat? How do you take the heat away from the module to the cooling plate, and then take it away from the the battery pack? And that's where I think we come into play. We have been doing this for so long for semiconductors, for electronics applications. E-mobility has just taken us into the next level, where we put together our understanding and are able to offer you solutions. Our solutions today are in the phases of thermal interface materials, which are basically in the forms of pads, which are good for handling, good for ease of use. And then it's also from the perspective of having a different conductivity. Like for example, we play from a range of about 1 watt per meter Kelvin to 5 watt per meter Kelvin. Again, none of our solutions are something which is off the shelf. We work closely with the market to understand the needs and then offer the solutions in that. We play with the density, we play with the physical formation, and then also as well the conductivity to meet the requirement. So beyond what I spoke, we are also into adhesive tapes, which adds value in different facets for the battery pack, motors per se. So Saint-Gobain is quite committed, and as I said, we are 76 manufacturing sites in India, and for specifically for this kind of a business, we acquired a company in Mumbai last year, in Mumbai, in the west part of India, where we manufacture most of these things in India to make it viable, to make it near to the industry, and that's where we add a lot of value. Ultimately, the next, I would say the takeaway out of this is that, we are well positioned to be partner with all of the industry leaders, specifically in India and as well as worldwide. And because our large base of R&Ds, know-hows, and we have been in this for beyond 50 years now. So we do understand what we do. We know very well what we do, and I think we are just open to hear about the challenges, how we can take that challenges back to us and then work on it and deliver solutions, right? So saying this, I welcome you all to visit us in hall number 15 and the booth 18. My team, experts from global team and the local team, is looking forward to have you and engage with you to address your challenges. Thanks a lot for hearing me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saikiran Shetty, for this wonderful information-driven presentation. May I please take this honor to share a token of appreciation on behalf of Informa Markets with you.